en esta otra actividad, en este caso tanto de la ECO como en este caso del Red Team Space. Antes que nada, queremos agradecerles a nuestros sponsors que hicieron posible traer a Ricardo y a un montón de otras personas que han venido para el Red Team Space. Bueno, espero que disfruten la charla de Ricardo. Ricardo va a estar hablando de una temática que entiendo que por algo están acá, que es muy interesante, con el tema de Apple. Así que bueno, Ricardo, introduce yourself much better than I can do it.
Thank you so much, my friend.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Hello, guys. I'm presenting in English because I'm not speaking Spanish or Portuñol, anything. Not working. Yeah. Okay, my name is Ricardo Logan. I'm from Brazil. Today we talk about the macOS red teaming. The idea for this research is about the security aspects inside the macOS. How can you use the macOS for exploring some vulnerabilities in our system or in your enterprise networks? In Brazil, I'm part of the Hackers to Hackers Security Conference. I have some researches in malware analysis, but focus in macOS in specific match-all files. The outline for today is the motivation for this research, security aspects in macOS, some tips for hacking macOS target, and some tools, native tools for using when you try to hacking macOS systems. About the motivation, maybe 9, 10 years ago, I started to reverse engineer in malwares for macOS, like K-Ranger, the example here. And after that, I continue analyze a lot of malwares create specific for macOS systems. In general, we have a lot of threats for macOS, a lot of ransomwares, malwares. macOS is like another security system, like a Windows, like a Linux, and you have malware. The guys, the customers think, I think now have malwares for macOS, but yes, we have. Another point for my motivation is I listened a long time. Windows is not safer, Linux not safer, but macOS is safer. In my opinion, it's wrong. macOS is it's another operation system like Windows and Linux, and has the same vulnerability. You can hack the macOS the same way. Of course, unfortunately, we have a short researches around the world focus on macOS. You have more focus in Linux and Windows, but you have the same problems in macOS, and we need more researchers for macOS systems. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, the idea, explain a little about the security aspects or security features inside the macOS. In the first time, I will just talk about the when macOS is created. macOS is based on Unix systems. Has the XNU kernel. You can download the XNU kernel. I'm not sure, but I think maybe the last version it's free for download the kernel macOS. It's maybe 2 years. But you can go to the link. I will share this presentation and download the XNU. It's good for understanding the kernel inside the macOS systems. macOS grow a lot for the community and thing. And now you have support for ARM64 and Intel chips. We have a macOS systems for a long time, and we have a lot of security features and improve every year. Here I split some features just for explain a little about the each feature. because it's very important to understand how this feature, because if you understand how these features can be hack macOS, can be possible to hack macOS, or use some tools if not allowed to use inside the macOS. But starting about the SIP. SIP, it's a feature you can, macOS protect your systems for not running a damaged application or a malicious application, but not running in a kernel permissions. And SIP, it's like a mobile phone when you use an Android and you root your Android mobile. SIP it's protect for this. You can you can run in the application with the permission in a kernel end. But you can, if you want to stop the SIP feature, you can do this. You just reboot the macOS and disable SIP and boot again and install any application you want. But it's not safer, of course. Another feature is FileVault. FileVault is a system for cryptography your hard drive in macOS. It's good because you can put a good password in your FileVault. He will cryptograph all the hard drive. And it's all these features you can use together for improve the security in macOS. Xprotect is another feature for the check the malicious files inside your computer. It's based on, it's like antivirus, but it's not antivirus, but it's based on signatures. Security boot, it's a feature for protect your UEFI. And when you boot your macOS system, you have a UEFI system, a small system, and security boot protect this. You can put a password, and another guy, if you don't have the password, you can block the access for the security boot, and you can block access the operation system. Gatekeeper, it's another feature for using for checking the signatures, check the softwares and signatures inside the softwares. If you have a software, the third party, and this software is signed by Apple or verified by Apple, Gatekeeper allowed the installation and allowed to run in this application in your operation system, in your macOS. But if this application not verified by Apple, Gatekeeper show a message to you and give to you a decision if you will install and run this application or not, because it can be maybe dangerous for the system. But it's your choice. TCC, it's another feature maybe 3 years ago, Apple put in a system for protect cameras, drivers, and access for the folders. It's like a permission in your system. I don't know how can use the macOS here, but when you use macOS, sometimes you try to access a specific folder, or your teams try to access the camera, and you receive a block, and you need to choose, I will enable or not enable this, allowed or not allowed this action. SSV is a signature sign of verification from the macOS. It's a new feature. I don't know. I'm not sure, but if I'm not wrong, it's maybe 1 year implemented for the Mac for Apple 1 year ago. For check the health state of the softwares inside the macOS, and if the SSV has the perception if the software is not running properly, he will stop or he will put this folder in a read-only state. It's just for it's very common when you try to running malware in macOS or potential malicious code in SSV for this scenario. Here in this slide, the main idea is if I need to wreck, if I need to compromise macOS, I need to understand these features. Or if I need to create a malware for macOS, I need to understand this too, because this is inside security aspects, security features, Apple using macOS systems for improve the security. Now, we'll talk a little about some security aspects, some security aspects in macOS for check the chips can help the pen tester or researcher want to try compromise the system. SQL, in the first time, the kernel extension, it's a feature, feature protect the software does not have access directly in kernel mode. You have some drivers, some hardwares need to permission for running in operation system, but the responsible for this is a kernel extensions. It can be a good opportunity for the attacker try to compromise this feature, this kernel, but it's not easy because it's working directly in a kernel mode. Another is a keychain. Keychain, it's thinking a database for passwords. All the passwords you have in macOS, or when you synchronize your iPhone and macOS, all these passwords, it's stored in keychain. If you dump the keychain, don't have the vulnerability in keychain today, but it's a possibility to try to dump this database for try to crack and get certificate passwords or sensitive information in this host. Here we have an example for where you found the keychain database in two scenarios for the user and for the system. It's like a Unix. Another tool, it's another tool. It's Launch Demons. You have, I think it's the better point. When you talk about the corporate scenarios, you have a lot of tools the company put in our macOS for check the malwares like ADR solution, DLP solution, proc solution, antivirus solution, anything. All these tools create a playlist file, and this playlist file guarantee like a persistence, guarantee when the computer is running, the application will be running too in a user privilege or in system privilege, depending the solution. But the attacker can use the same way to put a persistence in a macOS system if he has access directly in a macOS system, of course. Here a simple example where you storage the playlist files. In the first part is in a user folder and in system folder, the same way. In another slide, I will give an example for unload and stop the playlist file for stop some solutions. TCC, I talked about TCC some slides ago, but here example, TCC protect just these folders, but not protect temp folder and .ssh folder. And it's a good point, because if I'm an attacker, I know if I drop the malicious code in a temp file or a .ssh folder, TCC not blocked. It's for default. It's default for the Apple. if you create a campaign for phishing, for dropping a malicious code, you can try to run part of the code in a normal space, but the malicious code can run in temp file. In general, when you talk about the company, you have a lot of protections, a lot of solutions for improve the security inside the macOS. You have a MDM. MDM is for manage macOS systems, like create user access remote in macOS, enforce policies in macOS. I have a cloud solutions for help the deploy some features or configuration in macOS. You have ADR solutions, you have XDR solution, DLP, CASB, proxy, NAC, CN, anything. You have a lot of solution. And now it's a challenge for the attacker. Okay. Now I know maybe a little about the macOS aspects. I understand some security features inside the macOS, but where are you going? Because thinking, if I'm attacker and I need to compromise the company, but I have just a macOS system. When you have the Windows, you have a PowerShell. When you have the Linux, you have a Bash. In Linux, in Windows, you have a lot of scenarios, a lot of scenarios for exploring the environments, the networks, the system. In Linux, the same. But the idea here, the macOS is the same. This presentation is a basic presentation, and you get just do this for compromise some, you can use this, yeah, you can use this in macOS, the same in another system. The first of all, I'm talk about the Mitra attack. Of course, I think everyone know the Mitra attack, but you can use the Mitra attack for create your campaign or create your idea for compromise the macOS or the company or the network in a company. You have a lot of tips here with TTPs and things. Now, thinking if you are an insider attacker, if you are an insider, you will receive a macOS with a lot of protections, but you can't install tools outside your company, outside your, I can go to the GitHub, or I can use the brew install, I can use any package manager for install a tool in macOS, but okay, how can I move, how can I try to hacking a company using native tools inside macOS? Here, it's a very simple commands. First, you can check the rules inside the firewall on macOS, and it's good for you understand how operation check your actions. Simple command for check the listen ports. Of course, it's very old, not new. But you can check the Active Directory configuration. You can check, of course I hide some information, but you have comments for check the Active Directory, for get the information, for make a search in Active Directory. You can use some comments for check local users in macOS. And we'll create another search for getting the macOS users. LDAP search, of course, you have LDAP search in Windows, Linux, and a lot of operation systems, but it's native in macOS. You can use it and get the information. Of course, I need to hide some information, hide the users, but the same in Linux, the same in Windows, you can use the LDAP search. And in this case, I'm not sure 100%, but in some testings I do, Active Directory not block when you search using LDAP search with the origin, it's a macOS system. A lot of guys create a GPO for block the search, and it works for PowerShell, it works in Linux, but I'm not sure why in macOS, in tests I do in the past, not working the blockage, and I can do with the same permission, with a normal user, with the same permission, Active Directory or GPO not blocked the search, the consulting database for users. Another simple command for check the groups in a local user or Active Directory users. Here, it's a good point. Of course, when you start to test in some environments, some networks, it's common the guys. Some friends use unset his file for not logging my commands, and of course take care with some actions. But thinking, if you compromise the admin account, you have another solution needed to stop for movement or for put some comments. Because if you're using a corporate computer, this corporate computer has a solution like XGR, this solution can block some commands in a bash. And it's good if I stop the solution and do a command and start to put a command. And the first part is stop all the security solution installed in macOS, and after this, running your commands, start your attack, and when you finish, you can return the solution. You can start the solution, and of course, another point: if you stop the DLP solution, XGR solution, you need to stop the CN solution. You need to find if your computer has for example, a Splunk solution or I don't know, another CN solution, you will stop the connector for this, put out the comments, put out the attacks, and when you finish, you start again the solution for finish your job. Here it's a very old tip too. It's common solution for antivirus. Create an exclusion folder, and you can check in Microsoft ATP, CrowdStrike, SentinelOne, Cortex, Palo Alto, anything. You can check in a command line what is the folder, stay in a exclusion, and put your malicious code in a exclusion folder. Because if it's your malicious code stay in a exclusion folder, of course, the solution not check this folder, and you can run your malicious code from this part of the system, from this folder. It's the same for a lot of solutions. A lot of solutions can do this. The full reads, it's another good tip when you have a lot of solution inside your macOS. You have a playlist files, and the full reads read these playlist files and get some sensitive information. A lot of MDMs or a lot of XGRs and DLP solution sometimes stored a sensitive information inside the playlist files, sensitive information like key for the communication from the agent and the solution, the SaaS solution, the main platform, and another sensitive data. The full reads can be used every time for check if you have a chip in or customized thinking. The support guys, create a playlist file, create a integration from your macOS and another solution inside the support guys for remote access or anything. You can use the full reads for check if it has sensitive data, sensitive information. Just a simple bash script for dump local password. It can be used for dump and put in another machine for cracking outside your macOS. It's not new again. Mdefined, it's another macOS command. Here you can use this command for find some malicious lib inside the macOS. You can put code in malicious code in a library from the macOS. You can use the md5 with the xprotect for check if xprotect getting any malicious file like a PDF or another file in your macOS. When you start a campaign or a pen testing, attacking, the final idea is stealing the data, stealing confidential data, and you have a lot of way to get the information for another. Put the information outside the company, of course. But you have a block with, the company has a proxy, has a lot of solutions for block this sites like OneDrive, Dropbox. You receive a block, action. But, of course, you can use lateral movement for pick up these files for another computer, but it's not easy. Sorry, not old. It's very old technique. You can create a Python script for putting another computer in a file in upload action, and you can drop this confidential documents for another computer. You have a lot of other type of text like the next exfiltration and thing. But of course, it's not new, it's just basic. But in final of the operation, we will try to pick up this information for outside the company. Here you have some native tools you can use in macOS for try to hack or try to compromise the macOS system. Again, the idea here is use native tools inside macOS for taking any actions in operation system. The main idea for this presentation is I'm not using macOS because macOS it's safer. macOS don't have a lot of possibility to hack a system. macOS not give me a tools for working. Yes, macOS is the same another operation system. The same situation. You can use the same tools, the same techniques, and you have a lot of native tools for using macOS for try to compromise a company. And I hope I change the mind for some guys to start in research in macOS systems, because if you looking for, you have a few researchers around the world focus in macOS. For today, that's it. I appreciate everyone stay here with us. And if you have any question, I think you have a time. No? Thank you.